Hey, what's going on? Zach Miller here of Hatch and Ask Hatch Questions. Today we have a question from Lucian Freelands of Craftys. The question is, how do I know if I'm following a trend versus adding value? Operating in a bull market versus adding value. I'm afraid the business I'm starting may only last as long as the craft beer scene does. So Crafty's is a growler fill stop, similar to a convenience store that if you went in instead of buying bottles of beer, you could grab growlers. And so if you're not familiar with growlers, it's basically when you take draft beer and pour it into a larger consumption tool. So basically 32 to 64 ounces of draft beer to your house. And so the concept that Lucian is trying to start is by opening this store, and he wants to know if his early feedback is something that he should go and move with. And to be honest, this is a tricky thing. Not everything's going to last forever. I mean, just think about the clothing that we wore as kids. You just kind of have to take that risk and do it. Now, obviously, you want to test out as many things as possible, and realizing that people, in your specific case, Lucian, because people are already consuming alcohol in bottles and already consume draft beer and growlers already exist, likely by putting all those together, it's going to work because people already take growlers off premise. It's typically just not in that one type of store. Obviously, big concerns could be ease of use to get into the place. What happens if someone doesn't take their growler to work that day, and when they drive home, they don't want to spend the $10 to get another growler to then refill? So could there be things in place there? But at the end of the day, if the positive feedback is there, and you think that market's going to continue, if it's not like an internet software fad like Ello or Periscope or Meerkat, which is recently on the internet side of things, I think you can make the assumption that alcohol's not going away, and that people are going to drink at home, and some people prefer draft beer to canned beer or bottled beer. And then the other big assumption is that people are always going to want to drink. And so I don't think it's going away. I think that as larger companies are buying these smaller craft breweries, likely those things are going to continue to happen. And the best thing is with your concept is you are taking multiple breweries where you normally couldn't get those draft beers at one place unless you buy kegs. Now you can grab a couple of growlers of those at any given time. So I think you're right in making sure that you're not just gonna open and fade, but basically I think you can open, and then if things change, work with the punches, if you will. So thanks for your question, Lucian, and I think the risk is there. I think the opportunity is there, and you can take those next steps to see if you can do it. So, and if you have any questions, as always, comment below or fill out this form below, or go to hatchnorfolk.com/ask-hatch-questions. That's it for today. Thanks, Lucian, for your question, and keep us updated on how the progress of your store goes. Talk to you later.